Our very first brand was Little and Lively. And the way we grew it was finding like-minded brands and doing giveaways together. And then we share our audience with each other. And they were just like simple Instagram giveaways or even Facebook giveaways at the time. Like and follow and tag a friend, right? And we actually were able to grow massively during that time. That's just like how people found out about us. I've always been a massive fan of giveaways, but this is different. This is like that next level where it's like, yeah, you're not just liking and following. This is kind of that next level. I remember I had Van Oaks from Diesel Power Gear, like giving away these massive trucks. And I still didn't really get it. Like, really? It actually works? Like, I'd be scared to buy $100,000 truck to give away. How did that work exactly? It just seemed like the barrier to entry was just way too high. So I would love to hear, what was the concept behind this? What was the need that you guys were seeing?
So when we saw the success of giveaways at Gas Monkey, and there were probably a dozen really good giveaway companies, and they sell t-shirts, right? Cars for t-shirts. Yeah. And we played in that space. We've innovated within it, but we didn't create it. And once we got used to that growth and figured out, like, okay, we're really good at this, we're doing it, we kind of took a step back and said, okay, how do we press this giveaway button so hard that our finger breaks? Because there's really something special happening here. Really what it is, we think, is there's this psychological thing where if you can give someone the chance at a life-changing prize, they're more likely to take an action. And taking a step back even further for a second, like at Gas Monkey, let's just make up numbers, right? Let's say we had $1 million quarterly marketing budget, and I could take 200,000 of that and put it towards a giveaway. I could spend 500 more effectively than the million without the 200, which means I just saved $300,000 for better results. And I get to take 200 grand and give it to one of my customers. How cool is that? Like, just from a foundational level, right? It's really, really cool. So totally. Once we figure that out,
it's a leverage point, right? Like, oh, we could be spending money like this, buy our product on Facebook, right, or we could leverage it and actually figure out what people want emotionally, right? So super interesting, Craig.
It really was. And this has been a journey for all of us, right? We're still learning. But so after we figured that out, we said, okay, do we launch more giveaways? Like, do we do them more often? Do we do larger giveaways? Do we spin up a new company that might give away exotics or lifted trucks? We do a lot of muscle cars and hot rods over at Gas Monkey. And the previous tech COO took a step back and I said, how could we best address the market with this, right? Like, let's say we even made a new company and it doubled our revenue again. Okay, great. Then you can only do that so many times. I recognize the need of, hey, first off, there's 3 reasons people don't run giveaways, but they either don't know how well they work, they're scared of the legal, or they can't afford the grand prize, or they're scared to spend the money on it. All fair reasons, right? So we took a step back and said, when we first launched our giveaway, we took legal incredibly seriously. Gas Monkey Garage, 16 seasons on Discovery Channel. Richard's a household name almost across the world. We're going to do this the right way. So I became just a legal expert. I'm not a lawyer, but when our competition comes out with a new sweepstakes, I read the rules. I'm very familiar with the legal that goes into the giveaways. So I went to our legal team and I said, hey, I've got this idea. First, we came with the idea of, what if we launched a giveaway? And instead of selling widgets to paying back, we can partner with other e-commerce brands and allow them to market the giveaway. We can get some compensation from them, but they can get the benefit of this $100,000 giveaway. So I found out no one was doing it, shocked by that, went to legal, and they said, what's funny, people used to do this in the 90s. And they would take out newspaper ads and they would split the cost of a large giveaway between 3, 4, 5 retailers in the local area. No one's done this in the modern time. So there's precedent for it. So it's one of those things you can't MVP. You're either in a giveaway or you're not. So we started talking to some people, Eric being one of them, right? When Eric was selling us Tap Card at Gas Monkey, I was like, hey, what would you think of this idea? And he's like, this is brilliant. So we kept getting this really positive feedback on it. So we just pulled the Band-Aid off, spent the $100,000 and started actually talking to brands saying, hey, this is live. It's a real thing. Would you like to try it? And we launched Shared Sweep.
Wow. Doesn't it scare you a little tiny bit that like you're not going to get what you need out of the brands? Like, man, what if you guys don't make the 100K back? Like, what if it doesn't work?
One thing that I think is why I kind of exist in this conversation, let's be real, like I'm kind of the sales guy here. Part of what a lot of software companies struggle with in the beginning is their ability to get sales. So all you see is all these software companies. I come from the software space, so I know this firsthand. They don't know enough brands to bring business to the table. They just don't know enough. And they're trying to build the plane as they fly it, where in our case, we already know what to do because we did it with Gas Monkey. We've done it in 8 different geographies. We've done it across, I've looked at 1,000 P&Ls of e-commerce brands. My team has funded hundreds of e-commerce brands. So we're kind of thinking about it as in timing is key. Right now, we're working with the founders. We're talking to people like you. We're talking to operators. that we know are smart, right? That we know can help us build this product. This is a brand founded software company. Like that's going to be something for my brand side. This is coming from Gas Monkey on the brand side, right? And now we have shared sweeps that we'll probably have about 30 to 35 active brands in this next giveaway starting February. That's by choice. I think for us, it's just inherently not an issue because Craig is very good at networking. I'm good at networking, but I've also put in the work for the last 3 years, 4 years, talking to all these founders, thousands of calls, where it just helps us a lot. So typically, you would be kind of like, oh my gosh, if we don't get enough brands to participate, we're not going to be able to make our whatever cost is. But for us, we're really good at executing, right? We understand what works. We are obsessed with numbers. And when you combo those two things with knowing the right people and really having these conversations with yourself, it's a recipe for success, but we have to keep doing that. I could go on and on about this, but it really comes down to those relationships we both built.
Just let you guys know, that is the value. Whatever you guys are doing, and that's why trust matters so much. You break people's trust and you don't have that network anymore. Craig, let's walk through practically, how do brands actually use this to drive more revenue using a giveaway like this?
Yeah, so there's like level 1 and level 2. And you were talking about your brand and you're like, we can't afford a $100,000 giveaway. A lot of brands can, but they shouldn't. And so what we have found is that all these brands I was mentioning before, they've all turned into giveaway brands, for better or for worse, right? So people expect them to consistently be doing giveaways. If they don't do it, what happens to their sales? Who knows? So the theory behind all this was, what if we could connect existing brands that are selling great products to the giveaway space? Because it hasn't really happened yet. So we could be rolled out in many, many different ways. We're no code. So there's no tech enablements. There's no snippets of code. There's no Shopify app. The most common way that we see it.
It's just so easy. It's like, oh, that's it? That's all I have to do?